everybody? Welcome back to the podcast, episode 8, where we dive into the minds of entrepreneurs and business owners. What we're trying to do is listen to their story, figure out things that they've done, figure out things that they haven't done, and hopefully you, the listener, can apply them to your lives and hopefully better your life in your own way. So let's get this one started. I'm your host, Redbeard. This is my co-host, Hermes. Special guest, Andy.
Hi.
Hi. All right, Andy, first question. If you could compare yourself to a piece on the chessboard, what piece would it be and why?
So again, with my lack of knowledge on chess here, I know initially I would have definitely picked the king, but you've since talked me out of that decision, so.
Okay. All right, so originally the king because you think you're hot shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fucking hot girl, fucking...
I'll go somewhere.
Hot girl summer. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, so well, we've kind of talked about the pawn mentality a little bit, so you already have an idea. I think we're on episode, like I say, we're on episode 8, so I think I don't have to sit here and explain what the pawn mentality is over and over and over and over and over again. So we're going to go on to question 3. Hermes, let's get it.
All right, so what business do you own, or what other business?
So you got Out Law side-by-side and off-road. It's that's what it sounds like, an off-road shop, and do motorcycles and all that good stuff. And then I also have a trailer rental business because
Okay.
why not?
So like you all?
Yeah, what better?
A little better. All right.
Okay. Better.
So yeah, got those two.
That's pretty dope.
Doing it.
So how long have you been in business?
With the side-by-side stuff, we 5.5 years now.
5.5. That's pretty good.
So it's been
So you survived the COVID?
survived. COVID was actually probably the best years we had. Everyone had them Biden bucks. So
Hell yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody we talk to.
COVID was...
Dude, we had
that
more.
was the time
We had more money than we knew what to do with for a while there, and then something.
Dude, I wish I could say the same for the barbershop. It fucking sucked.
Really?
They shut barbershops down.
Well, because you didn't have toys, dude. If you started doing like side-by-side rentals, then dude, you were perfect.
Yeah, dude, they straight up were like, barbers are not needed, and they shut barbershops down. COVID sucked.
They don't want you close to anybody.
Yeah, because 6 feet, right?
Yeah,
Well, when you're a barber, dude, you're sitting in your fucking client's lap. You know what I mean?
that's true.
I should have sold some sort of toy, maybe like a sex toy or something. I don't know.
That could have worked. Dude. Some of the girls didn't want to be any more closer to them. That dude, just give me a toy.
6 feet, dude.
Go in your own room. Get away from me.
Yeah.
So what got you in the whole side-by-side off-road thing?
So funny story. So I went to did high school, everything. Moved to Phoenix. Went to UTI. Was like I want to be an auto shop mechanic, and the guy I worked for, which actually this will roll into one of your questions about a mentor, Rob Winefsky. He didn't have high hopes for me. Let's start with that. Like he did the job interview. I pulled up in this raggedy ass 04 GTO, and he's like, "This Mexican kid ain't coming back." Because I lived in Scottsdale and the shop was in Youngtown. It was a commute to get to work every day, and then went to school in Avondale. So he was sure I wasn't coming back, and I'm like, yeah, like I know some stuff. I'm pretty decent. Like a lot of the instructors at UTI are like, hey, go talk to this guy. He's looking for someone. So that was cool to know that they weren't just telling anyone. Like they wanted a particular person that they knew that he would want, and started there. He wouldn't let me do anything more than like change a battery or check tire pressure. Like I'm like, dude, like I know how to do some stuff. I'm not totally stupid, but I guess looking back, I probably was. I learned a lot in that shop. It was me, him, and another guy for a long time, and it got to the point where he raced an HRA with fuel alters and stuff, and he wanted to be able to leave and have the shop still run and not just close and sitting at home twiddling our thumbs.
Yeah.
So he started to show me the ins and outs of running the business, not all the financial side of it, but like just to make sure everything was running smoothly. So I learned a lot of that stuff, and then some a little bit of falling out. We're good now, but I ended up going to another shop, and then my dad's like, hey, you should move to Kingman, because I previously told him like I think I know how to run a shop, like let's start a shop, and he was kind of against it, but So we ended up doing that, moved to Kingman, and started this shop, and that was a freaking grind, dude. So like a little two-bay service station, it was just me and my dad just grinding out at it, and we butted heads a lot. And I was doing the services on like the Messrs, Gary and Walt Messrs razors, and they kept telling me, dude, you need to open a side-by-side shop because I'm sick of rolling around on the ground doing model changes. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know, I just kind of whatever. And thankfully having people on my side, because he said, financially, if you have a good business plan, whatever you need, let me know and I got you. Because I worked for him when I was in high school up here, and he's always had my back for a lot of stuff, and been a good mentor also.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, and I know Brandon Lose and Gerald Jones had initially started Out Law, and because I'm just like not the type of person who'll step on people's toes. Went out to a race and like, hey man, like I know you guys kind of have this thing going, but you're not really doing anything with it. Just letting you know, I'm thinking about opening a shop, and I just want to step on their toes. I want to just just make sure so it's not you're not blindsided by it. And Brandon's like, well, why don't we just partner up? So I'm like, thought about it a little bit, and Gerald had his own stuff going on, so bought out Gerald's half, which was next to nothing realistically. We ended up pretty much starting the business on like $1,500 a piece.
Really?
And Brandon had just bought the building that we were in, so we were just working to make sure that the payment was made every month on the building, and did some renovations and stuff, and just kind of started there. And after about a year, Brandon got pretty busy back with the, COVID killed the restaurant business for sure. And then towards the end, like people were like, "Fuck you guys, we're gonna start going back to restaurants." And so they started getting real busy again. So he wasn't really around much. And he came out, and he's like, "Hey, want to just buy me out?" So we crunched some numbers, came up with a plan and a number, and made a deal, and fucking rest is history. Got the opportunity to move into the building I'm in now, and just kind of built it up from there. Definitely important to have good clientele, and that isn't want any business, but and to take care of people. Like we've lost money on numerous jobs just to write anything, just to make it right. And that I've noticed a lot around here. Like people don't do that; they're just pretty much trying to get fucked. Like, oh, we messed it up. Oh well, we had a few instances. Like I totaled the customer squad, put me in the hospital, ripped my thumb off. It messed me up pretty good. And I was going into the ambulance. I told my secretary, hey, call them, let them know what happened, and let them know I'll take care of it, whatever it is. And thankfully that guy was super cool. He wasn't super worried about it. He was like, yeah, I was selling a part anyway. And I was like, dude, I'll fucking buy you a new one. I'll fix this one. I'll just buy it from you. Like, so he actually ended up hooking up pretty good on it. So I was just a couple grand out of pocket and just done with it. And just stuff like that. Like I don't see a lot of shops really do that kind of stuff anymore. Had an incident of oil drain bolt falling out, blowing up a motor in a brand new side by side. Pulled it out and took care of it. Is what it is. It's not what we want to see happen, but it's just all about how you handle the situation. So that's pretty much that's kind of where I started and rolled in and got my mentor, and then learning some stuff from my dad. Learned how to be an asshole, so that's cool.
I think we learned that all from our old man. That's just stuff.
Well, why don't you work with your dad? He's like, fuck him, asshole.
He's an asshole.
We're good. We're good. Our shops are across the street from each other now. Well, that's it. We'll go have dinner afterwards. But
so you kind of jumped into a lot of stuff there. Let's kind of go. Let's kind of dive into you growing up as a kid. You know what I mean? Like where'd you come from? You know what I mean? Where'd you come from? Do you think growing up the way you did kind of, made you who you are today? You know what I mean? How'd you get to entrepreneurial? You know what I mean? What drove you into deciding to make this decision? You know what I mean? What are the differences? Did you work a normal job? You said you went to college. Like I say, you kind of jumped all around. Let's get some depth here. Let's go into some depth. So let's start like high school. Let's start as a kid. You're growing up as a kid. Did you grow up rich? Did you grow up really poor? You know what I mean?
No, we're definitely poor. Definitely, we were lucky to have the minutest of things that most kids would have, and we definitely had to learn to appreciate that, which is good. That helps a lot too, because some people don't. Again, they just don't have that. They had shit handed to them, and that's just how they always expect life to be, and that's just not how it is.
Right.
As far as, so like, and then, you know, my dad being away for a couple of years because his mistakes. So I did a lot of growing up with my grandpa, you know, go back and forth, and he was fairly entrepreneurial. He had, you know, he'd flip cars and did, you know, buy and sell tractors, did a lot of auction stuff with properties, and so I grew up going with him, making deals and learning how to talk to people and you know, make them feel comfortable when you're talking to them and not coming off as an asshole like that. And like the most important thing I think I ever learned from my grandpa was probably never leave your house without at least $1,000 in your wallet, which these days I don't have that, but because you never know when you're going to find a deal. And if you have cash right then and there, you can forget it pretty good.
That is true.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've learned a lot of that. Yeah, we talked to poor shit.
Okay. So you went to school. So what were your plans like? Okay, so you're in high school. So you're gonna go. What was your plan? Like, did you have I'm gonna go to college, become a mechanic? Was that the plan? What school did you go to?
UTI. No. So that initially, when I was like 8, I think my mom worked at UTI, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to this school and I'm gonna open a shop. Like, that was my little kid life goal.
Okay.
And then as I progressed in life, that just wasn't like, it was always kind of on the back of my mind, like, yeah, that's what I want to do, but not really. Like, I wanted to do something that was really going to make good money. And so then I was like, all right, so I actually was enlisted in the Navy, and I was supposed to leave once I graduated. I graduated early. Like, I hustled through high school after fucking off a lot. I don't even know how I graduated, much less graduated early. But so I was supposed to go to the Navy, and I had my grandpa's uncle actually he's like, you don't want to do that. Because he was in the Navy and military, did his whole life career with that. And
where'd that come from? Where'd that idea come from? The Navy? Did you just not know what to do? Was it
because I figured if I went to the military and did, you know, X amount of years, I'd have a GI Bill that would pay for UTI.
Okay. Because you couldn't afford to pay for UTI because you're broke.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the way. You're going to go to the military. That was going to pay. Okay, all right, makes sense.
It just sounds like the traditional, like, I'm going to go, you know, like, that's the traditional how people want you to grow up, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you hear that a lot. You know, join the military.
Join the military, go to school,
Get a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear that a lot. You definitely hear that a lot. Okay,
Yeah, so that was the plan. And so he didn't really have much family, and he was pretty well off. And he lived in Yuba City, went there a lot and helped him out. And
this is the uncle.
yeah, this is just my grandpa's uncle. So
Grandpa's uncle.
Fred. He was, you know, very, very old veteran. One of the veterans that stormed the beach in Normandy. So he had a lot of cool stories to tell.
Okay.
And after a couple of weeks going back and forth, helping him out, doing stuff, like I was just doing it to do it, you know, it wasn't. And he's like, well, how much does that school cost that you want to go to? I'm like, oh, I never looked, you know. And he's like, well, don't you think you should probably look and see? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess. So he's like, yeah, you should just call him and see what it costs. So it's okay. So called him, did a little walkthrough at the school, got the gist of it. It was like $59,000. Yeah.
Damn.
And so the next time I went to see him, I was telling him about it, and he's like, you don't need to go in the military. I'm like, well, I kind of do because I don't have $59,000 paid for that. And he's like, no, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no shit.
So
that's pretty cool.
And I was like, right before he died, dude. So he fucking wrote a check, sent it to my dad, covered it, all it.
That's pretty amazing.
And I was like, yeah. So that honestly jump-started a lot. Like, not a lot of people know about that. But it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. No.
And
everybody gets help, dude. Nobody's self-made. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Everybody's had help somewhere, whether it's money, advice. You know what I mean? We all get help.
yeah, I just told my neighbor that because my neighbor's like, oh, you know, he's like 16. He's like, oh, you know, I know my uncle can help me, but I want to do it myself. I'm like, dude, if your uncle's willing to help you, dude, take it.
Take it. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says, dude. If someone is willing to help you get better, fucking take it. Don't be prideful.
Don't fuck that. Exactly.
Well, yeah, exactly. And, like, take any opportunity that you can get.
Yeah.
Because that's what separates the men from the boys. Like, if somebody's offering me, a full ride to school, if someone's going to offer me $50,000 to go to school, why not take it?
Yeah.
It's either that or I'm going to get put in debt for no reason.
Yeah.
Did I tell the Bill Gates story on here? Or was that off the camera? Oh, okay, probably not. Everybody's shaking their head no. Okay, I want to go into this for a second. So I don't know if this story is true or not, but this is a story that I tell to a lot of people. So Bill Gates is getting interviewed, and he sits down with this lady, and she's going through, and they do the whole interview, and everything's all done, and it was a great interview. And at the end of the interview, the cameras all get shut off, and the lady's, talking to Bill Gates. We do the same thing in here. And she's like, hey, could you give me a piece of advice that could help me become rich?
Okay.
So Bill Gates reaches in his back pocket, pulls out his billfold, and tears out a check, and hands her a pen and a blank check, and says, fill out that check, whatever number you want, and I'll sign it. And she says, no, I don't want your money. I want a piece of advice. Give me, like, I don't want you to just give it to me. I want a piece of advice. And he goes, no. Fill out the check, any number, I'll sign it. She goes, no, Mr. Gates, I don't want your money. I want a piece of advice. I want to learn how to become better. And he goes, I'm going to give you one last chance. You know what I mean? Fill out the check, and I'll sign it. And she gives it back to him. She says, no. He goes, okay. So he puts his check away, puts it in his back pocket. And he says, the difference between me and you is I take advantage of every opportunity given to me. So that was an opportunity for this lady
To have whatever she wanted. Any number she put on there.
But she lets her pride get in the way and goes, oh, I don't need help. You know what I mean? Everybody needs help. I've had help. Hermes has had help. Andy's had help. And sometimes it's money. Sometimes it's advice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something like anything that you know how to do, anything that you've ever learned, you got it from somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You didn't just...
You didn't just out of thin air learn how to fucking make this. You know what I mean? Like, all these ideas, okay, this chessboard, like everything here has all been ideas. Like every time you guys see something being added, this is something new that Emilio has come up with. But this logo, you guys have seen it written on the piece of paper, and we've tried multiple times and tried this font and tried this and da-da-da-da. And it's multiple trial and error, and it's lots of people talking about things. Same thing with the chessboard, same thing with the podcast, same thing with every business. You know what I mean? Nobody just, ta-da! You know what I mean? Everybody has had an idea. Everybody's bounced something off of somebody's head. Somebody's gotten help with money. So this whole concept and belief that you're quote unquote self-made, in my opinion, is complete bullshit.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying that you didn't put in a bunch of work and a bunch of time and bust your ass and there's a lot of risk and all. I'm not taking away from that. But at the end of the day, we've all had help from somebody, somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that people let pride get in the way and they go, oh, I didn't have help. Or people will hide that and be like, well, I don't want people to know that because they think people will think less of them for some reason. I'm not saying that's in your case, but that's just something that for whatever reason people think that way. But fuck what people think. Who gives a shit? Stay true to yourself. Take help from people who are offering you free advice and run with it because you could change your life. So I just wanted to, that's something it's a story that I tell. And I actually told it to a guy. He drives Uber Eats or something. I'm not exactly sure, but
Does he drive a Prius?
he drives for Uber Eats or something like that. And he's one of my clients, and he comes in and gets his haircut. And I tell him that Bill Gates story, and it was opening day of football season, and he wants to stay at home and watch football. And I had told him this story before because we were talking about football, but he's like, yeah, man, I can't wait to watch the fucking day one, blah, 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 blah. And he said, you know what? I'm going to turn on my Uber Eats app and I'm going to see how busy I can get. So he saw an opportunity and all the other Uber drivers, I guess, Uber Eats, they weren't delivering. So now everybody who's staying at home wanting to watch the game is staying at home wanting to watch the game, but they're hungry and they want food. So he's like, fuck that. I'm going to go fucking deliver food. So he missed the games. But he killed it that day. I don't know. I can't say he made the most money he ever made that day. I don't know. I never asked him that question. But he came in and he tells me the story the next time he's in. He says, I saw an opportunity and I took it. And he says, thank you for telling me that Bill Gates story. And again, I don't know if the Bill Gates story is true. I don't even remember where I heard it.
He's like, I'm just telling people some bullshit, dude. Honestly, dude.
I could be telling you guys a bunch of bullshit. That interview probably could have never happened. I don't fucking know. But the story.
He's like, I'm gonna tell you, it's got substance. It's got a meaning.
What? You know what I mean? Like it made a difference, and it helped somebody in their life, and it could help you in your lives. You know what I mean? It could help. It's helped me. It's helped Hermes. It's helped you. Take advantage. If you have somebody willing to help you out, take advantage of it. Fuck your pride. You can still be prideful, but you know what I mean? Admit it, and then give kudos where kudos is delivered. You know what I mean? Like pay pay your respect to the people who've helped you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I like that. I try to tell people that all the time. You like, if someone's gonna fucking offer to help you, take it.
Take it.
Because just like that, he offered that girl, whether this just true or not, the check 3 times, and she didn't take it. How many times is someone gonna offer to help you before they're not gonna offer that no more?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then eventually you're gonna come around a time where you need that help and they're there anymore.
Yep. And I also believe that a lot of successful individuals in this world are good people. I believe that. I'm not saying everyone is. I'm not saying every rich person. I'm saying, successful, good individuals. I think a lot of the time they're actually out here trying to help people. They may not be the best at communicating it. They may, come off this way or come off that way. But I think a lot of people are really trying to help people. You know what I mean? Like, helping you doesn't hurt me. Helping Hermes doesn't hurt me. Helping Connor doesn't hurt me. Helping people doesn't hurt me in any way. If anything, it benefits you.
Yeah, he didn't bring you up. He just pointed at you.
But you know what I mean? It's all about helping people. You know what I mean? So I don't want to fucking steer too far off the path. But I think that's good. You know what I mean? I think it's awesome. So you should have this. I guess he's a great uncle.
Great uncle.
Great uncle who fucking helped you out. That's at least got you into school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a step in the right direction.
That was just one less thing I had to worry about when I got out, which.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're going to UTI.
Yes, going to UTI. Right. I was going to live in a travel trailer in Goodyear at one of my dad's friends' properties. And before we went down there, I had my red Trans Am. This was back in 2013.
Okay.
Drove to Phoenix to go to the cruise on Central, grenaded the fuck out of the transmission getting on the I-17.
Oh, damn.
So here comes Pete. So now I've eaten Pete. So this is a long time friend of my dad, my grandpa, and all that. So Pete owns Pete's Transmissions in Phoenix. This is the first time I meet him. I always heard about him, never met him before. So now I need a transmission. I'm broke the fuck down in Phoenix. So I meet him, take the car to his shop. We're talking. My dad's like, yeah, he just graduated. He's moving down. He's going to live in this travel trailer out in Goodyear. Pete's all, fuck that. He's like, you know how fucking hot it is down here? He's like, I live alone in this big ass house. Got a pool. He'll just come stay with me. So as long as you're going to school, you don't got to pay no rent.
Okay.
So I'm like, fuck this. So just everything just compounded, dude. It's just, and then he gave me a job, which took me a while to figure out how to get there because I didn't know my way around Phoenix. So I was late for the first probably month to really trying to get my
pre-smartphone or
it was smartphone, but it was I had just got a new phone or I traded my phone for another one that I thought I was going to like and the battery would last about 10 minutes. So I didn't have any time to try and figure out what I was doing with myself. So bad that I actually ended up in Scottsdale at the UTI headquarters, the main, instead of in Avondale where I was supposed to be one time. I'm like, what the?
Oh shit! Yeah, that's a fucking.
North Scottsdale. Yeah.
Jesus. Other side of Avondale, Scottsdale.
North Scottsdale and Avondale, which is southern ghetto Mexico. But so he gives me a job, so I'm just basically shop bitch.
Okay.
Cleaning up, making sure I'm catering to all the mechanics, making sure they're happy or they got what they need. Yeah, make sure they got the transmissions they need. I'm pulling, because they have, hundreds of transmissions on the shelf ready to go. So they tell me, I need this one, I need this converter, so I'd go grab them, and that's what I did for a while. I made $200 a week.
Okay.
That was enough to just barely get by.
Okay. Because you're staying at Pete's house, right?
Yeah, so I didn't have to pay for rent.
Okay.
I had gas and food. And $200 a week, dude, I'm a big dude. I like to eat. It was rough, dude. So it's sometimes I would go home on the weekends and my mom's she'd fucking load me up with a bunch of food. Dude, I love that when I go home, dude. She'd just fucking load me up with food, give me some gas money to get back. And so I did that for a while. And then I started to learn that the demographic of Phoenix is so much different than Kingman.
Okay. I
was able to start buying car parts. I did a lot of LS stuff because that's what I did. I'd buy car parts and flip them. And then, I made my biggest come up with this dude who's going through a divorce and his wife parted his car out.
Damn.
I have a picture.
What do you do?
Dude, I have a picture of my WS6 with fucking drag pack in the back, dude. Fast intake, heads, cam. Dude, she took everything off that dude, Scott. and I don't give a fuck. That was my biggest come up, dude. I was able to start selling it, and then so like I started doing that, and then I do like side jobs like cam swaps and stuff on different people's cars, and just like random just bolt on shit for some people, and like that's why. So I started like hustling that, and then I stopped coming to Kingman because I was too busy on my weekends and my nights doing that stuff.
And you're doing this out of Pete's garage?
Yeah, Pete's garage. Yep.
Okay.
With a Pittsburgh tool set, dude. With a Pittsburgh, the different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
So
hell
I
yeah.
will. So I will never, ever fucking judge someone by the tools that they have, dude, or the toolbox they have. Never, ever, because I have made so much money on a tool set that I bought from an old Mexican dude at a swap meet in South Phoenix, like, and I never like. Yeah, they break, dude, whatever. But I never broke a tool, but it's also how I use them.
Yeah.
But like, so like that's another thing, dude. Like, I said, I'll never fucking judge someone on what tools they have, ever. Like you want to use fucking like, and then the Icon's badass now anyway. But
Oh,
like,
go ahead, hate on my US General, dude. Let's hear.
it's all right, dude. Yeah, if I didn't own a business and like, I feel like because any shop I've ever been to, like the business owner always has like a big badass toolbox. You go to my shop, I got a big badass toolbox, but look how many tools are in it. They're all in my little cart because I fucking hate that big ass box. I got a cart, dude, I could roll around with me. And the shop's big as shit, dude. It's hard to walk across the shop anytime you need a tool.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you don't want to roll that fucking thing.
Yeah, dude, fuck that.
Understandable.
But yeah, so I started really getting in the hustle there, figuring that out. Me and my buddy Anthony Dudley, we started doing a lot of street racing, and we would like cat and mouse some people, and that's how we get some money. We'd go to Fry's. Yeah, I remember this. So me, Anthony, and Chase, dude, we'd go talk some Mexicans into racing us for money with their piece of shit Hondas, and we'd take their money, obviously, and we'd go to Fry's. There's a Fry's down the street from their apartment, and we get the big ass tube of meat that's on sale, and we buy a bunch of the hell are them things called? Hamburger helpers.
Okay.
That we'd make, like, my mom got us this big ass pot. We'd make a big pot, and then we'd divvy that up, and that's what we'd eat there all the week.
All
That's
the
how
week.
that's what we got our
Hamburger helper.
Hamburger helper, dude. That's our lunches and shit. Like we
Hell
do
yeah.
shit like that, and dude, just survival mode pretty much.
Okay.
Like you know what I
You're
mean?
making $200 a
Yeah,
week.
$200 a week.
You're
You gotta
hustling
fucking figure it out,
fucking
dude.
Mexicans with their Hondas.
Dude, and then like
Cat and mouse, he says.
Gotta take a few pounds.
God damn.
dude, I was so set on getting a GTO that I was just trading up, and I was trading for some pieces of shit sometimes, dude. I remember getting that turbo Trans Am, and I had to go. So like, have to be to school every like that's the biggest thing, dude. Like, Uncle Fred was really adamant about that. Like, you better fucking go to school. And so I get this fucking car, dude, and it's leaking oil everywhere. And so now I got the car in piece, and it's like an old school, like a 70s built house with the garage doors flip up.
Damn.
So I got this car in like one of the garage stalls, and I got the body hanging from the cherry picker, and I got the whole K member out, and the engine like ratchet strapped up, dude. I had to it's trying to get this thing welded. I don't know how to weld, dude. I'm a grinder. And so I find a guy, Dan Bow, he welds it for me and everything, and that was actually, this car was like a turning point where I started getting better stuff and like really learning some stuff, because I had to do a lot of shit on that car to like make it decent. And I remember my dad my dad talked some shit to me because I was leaving school one day. I drove that car every day. That was the most miserable. I will never drive anything with no AC again. I'm too fat, and it's medicinal for me at this point. And so I'd get off work at noon. I'd bring some rags with me to hold the steering wheel, dude, and fucking back's on fire from the leather seats, jump in the pool and go to school. But I was passing a semi on my way home. I got on it, dude, and just blew the fucking motor up. 15 pounds of boost, stock LS,
God damn.
91 octane and like 112 degrees or wherever fucking hot it was that day.
On your way to Kingwood.
No, I wasn't on my way to Kingman yet.
Oh, okay.
So I was going to be, because my sister, she's not stripping anymore, but
I always ask.
he always asks.
You're a horrible human. You're a horrible
Like, hey, is your sister still stripping?
But so I blow it up, called my dad, and he's like, "Yep, you're dumb, aren't you?" I'm like, "Well, yep." Checks out. So she had this fucking Escalade, so I used her Escalade to tow it up there. We freaking drag stock motors with us.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Just slap my heads in cam on it, dude. Fucking call it a day. And it lasts pretty good. Ended up trading that off to Tommy Peters, who now owns SRT Auto Works. He sold that car to start that business.
Oh shit. Okay.
And he's like premier freaking Hellcat guy. And like even Dodge has articles about him now.
No shit.
So
I mean, I would have showed the Chevy to fucking start a Dodge company too. Just saying.
damn, dude, it's a Pontiac, dude. Easy.
It's fucking trash.
But yeah, so I started building this like clientele of the buying and selling the parts and trading cars and doing all this, and then that shit happened, and I left where I was working. Went over, actually worked at Tommy's shop for a little bit, and then Desert Diesel Performance, Danny, we did a lot of street racing with him. He's like, hey, I'll start you over here if you're getting, I think he said like $23 an hour, like roll your tool, because it was like right there next to Tommy's shop. He's like, roll your toolbox over on Monday.
Okay.
Like, all right, cool. And that's when I called my dad, and he's like, yeah. He's like, I got some plans. So we went and did that shit. Then when I moved, I had to like fire sell all my stuff down at a shed, because now I was living with someone else. Pete had given his house to his daughter, so I was living with another friend, and I had a shed of just stacked of performance cars. And I didn't want to bring any of it with me, because I knew that once I came up here, dude, it'd just sit. You know how it is.
Yeah.
So fire sold everything. Didn't really mess with that much anymore.
What about when does yes. Oh, do you want to talk about Alaska a little bit? Like when did that?
Oh
happen?
So when
did that
yeah, I always forget about Alaska.
happen?
So
Yeah. See, that's what I'm here for.
Alaska, last frontier. A lot of redheads up there.
What?
Got a good story about the Bush Company up there too.
Oh my God.
So yeah, when I was finally graduating from UTI, I guess my dad had already had it planned out to talk to his boss. He's working in Alaska, working on heavy equipment, and his boss is like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, bring your son up here." And so he called my boss and told my boss, obviously Rob was not happy about that, because just leaving essentially on short notice. And I would think I was a pretty okay worker for the most part. Like, and just a cliff note here, I see now as a business owner how shitty my attitude was sometimes towards him, now that I see it on the other side.
Okay.
And I sometimes I feel bad about that, because I'm like, damn, like
That's fair.
I should have acted different. But
You're also
you don't know.
young. Like,
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah, I was freaking 20.
Make
And,
dumb decisions.
So yeah, we graduated Friday. Sunday, I was on a plane to Alaska. Went up there to work on heavy equipment with my dad, and then they're like, "Oh, you know how to use computers? We're gonna teach you how to land survey." So I started doing land surveying for a couple months, and just until he got cold and he had to come back. And yeah, that was really good money. that was stupid money.
That was a come up, huh?
That was a come up.
Oh, nice.
That was coming, because when you're in we're in rugged Alaska, not just like, we're not hanging out in Anchorage, which Anchorage is like South Phoenix. Like, I would not recommend. That is not a destination spot. That place fucking sucks. But you're out there, and you hardly have any cell service most of the time anyway.
So you can't spend your money?
You can't spend your money.
Ah, damn.
I mean, I figured out how to do it, but like, it was hard. It was hard, but I had to work really hard at it. Yeah, you couldn't spend your money, just stacking cash and hanging out in the forest, land surveying, and so that was pretty cool. Then we had a wildfire start. That was not cool, but we got to go on was a supervisor. He had a fishing boat, so we're in like the Prince William Sound. Like, we spent a week on the ocean just fishing, because we couldn't even go to our job site.
Because the fire.
It was a fire.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And actually, me, him, and my dad were the last ones on the job site, because it was my birthday. So it was my birthday. Just turned 21. We were going to go to this place called Sackett's, which I think they just use like that smoke oil that you can get at like Walmart for like the smoke flavor on steaks and stuff. Mm-hmm. But when you're out there, dude, you take anything. Yeah, so we go to this place, Sackett's, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to go there for dinner. We'll have some steaks, and just maybe get a pizza so we can have it tomorrow. And this storm rolls through, and we're kind of finishing up for the day. I'm doing some paperwork, and fucking lightning strike, boom, fire starts.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, God damn it. Because we couldn't just leave all the equipment. Like, everything was just kind of laid out. Like, nothing was put away. It's like a pretty busy area, so we don't put everything away at night. And
You're still on a job, right?
yeah, we're still,
Technically.
yeah. So I was getting paid no matter what. Like, I was there. So we ended up spending a good part of the afternoon and the night clearing fire breaks around everything and moving all the equipment. And it got to the point where me and Justin, the supervisor, we left in a truck and the fire jumped the road. So my dad had to take a boat out on the lake and we had to drive way the fuck around to meet him and pick him up. And because they were using that lake to dip, so we couldn't, no one could be over there. Yeah, shit was crazy. I also saw my first porcupine up there. That was pretty cool.
In Alaska?
Yeah. Mooses are fucking mean. No one fuck with them.
Mooses?
Mooses. Meese? Mooses? Okay.
And they're big.
They're big and they're
So
mean.
fucking big.
Is it really mooses?
Yeah.
Is that what you call more than one moose? A mooses?
A gaggle of
I think it's
meese.
just moose.
Just moose?
It might
So-
be moose.
I don't know.
Can we fact check that? We need another person.
Yeah, we
need
that can
another
fact-
He's fact checking. Mooses. I don't
Is
think,
it mooses?
I don't think it's mooses. I think it's moose.
just so we all know, we're all retarded other than Hermes, and we all think it's mooses except for Hermes. Hermes is going with moose.
It might be meese though.
But it could be Mises.
Mooses?
We don't know. Again, proving.
Plural of moose.
Oh, plural. Shit. Emilio's kind of smart.
Yeah, not singular, plural.
Plural of moose.
Plural of moose.
Oh.
Waiting.
Where did you find this guy? He's a computer guy. He can't even spell.
Moose. M-O-O-S-E.
No, I got it.
No, he's on plural. I see it.
Pieces are incorrect.
And
Oh, damn.
Plural of moose is moose.
yeah,
Yeah, dude. They all look like retards.
Kingman High.
he said mooses and Mises.
KHS, baby. Yeah, he built it up. I thought I was right. He's on mooses and meeses. I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, wrong.
Damn.
Okay, now we know.
Now we know.
So back to the selling car parts and Phoenix stuff. Like, how was that? Was it like pretty fun or?
It's pretty cool, yeah. Met a lot of interesting people.
Okay.
And it wasn't like I always like know the value of something. Like Garrett will probably sit on one of those Mustangs until he never sells them because he knows his value in them. But my wife gets sick because I still do it. Like I will sit on something for 6 months till I get what I want for it. I'm not.
I'm bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm not to put it in this aspect, but like I'm not hurting for money, so I don't need to sell something.
Yeah.
Like when I buy stuff, it's because I'm ADHD and I can't help myself. Then I'm like, oh fuck, I better sell this. I'm like, well, the good thing is like I got it, bought it in the right price, and I can make some money on it.
Well, that's pretty cool.
I try to do that, and then my fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? My I'm real picky. What is it?
OCD.
My OCD.
Your OCD.
My OCD fucking takes over, and then I'm like, oh, well, I gotta fix this, and I gotta fix this, and I gotta fix this, and well, if I'm gonna sell it, my name's gonna be on it, so it's got to be fucking perfect.
45 minutes later, the engine's out again.
Yeah.
Because it's got to fucking drip to one drop of oil. Now the motor's gonna come out. Piece of shit. Yeah, that's my problem. I'm pretty good at flipping stuff. If I tell myself I'm gonna buy this to flip it,
Yeah.
I'm good there. But if I like build it,
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
Too many labor hours.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody has to pay for how many times you've had that fucking motor up. Dude, they might as well buy a freaking GT500, dude.
For real.
Those motor mount bolts are definitely stretched by now.
We don't use a torque wrench.
Tortilla? Nah.
Nah.
Never heard of her.
How many Ugga Duggas? Full. Hey, dude. 37 minutes it took me to get it out last time.
Damn.
That's a running, driving car with AC, radio, electric windows,
Gosh, that's pretty good.
30 miles a gallon.
Electric windows, because that matters. You gotta take the windows off, dude.
How much oil for
For miles.
How much oil per mile? I couldn't.
Dude, when I had that bagged Audi A4, it was oil. It was torched for miles. So I went to Manti, Utah on a whim because my buddy's like, hey, I signed us up to play a cornhole tournament
Oh shit.
this weekend. And I'm like, where is it? And he's like, Manti, Utah. So it's like a 6 hour drive.
Oh shit.
I had about a quart of oil every 100 miles. So I just brought like
God damn.
the crank seal was stuck to the crank and spinning inside the housing.
Inside of the house?
Yeah.
Jesus, it's just fucking.
Just pouring oil out, dude. Finally
That's
fixed
pretty
that.
bad. Mine's not quite that bad. I mean,
Yeah,
it's bad.
that was pretty bad. I was embarrassed to even drive that thing sometimes, but it was cool. So I hard parked at the rafting museum, dude, and left a big old fucking oil seat. They're fucking nice, clean concrete. Oh man, it was good.
Oh shit. Okay, so you're leaving Alaska. It's on fire, right? You come back. Now you and Pops are gonna start the business, not outlaw, but a business.
No, so that's I came back with a bunch of money, did some traveling for a while. Rob wasn't quite keen on having me come back to work for him yet because he was still upset with how I left. So he brought me back part-time. And then I tried to, I thought I could adjust my part-time hours sometimes because I was trying to go on a date with this girl. And he just wasn't having it. So I'm like, all right. And that was the only, like the days I had to work was the only day she had off. So it is what it is. But,
Hey, I can't come in today. Gotta go on this date.
yeah. It was another very close person of mine and Rob's daughter. So we kind of try to keep it on the DL, but she's married, has a kid now, so whatever. And so am I. But yeah,
Put that in there. So much.
yeah, so am I. It was our rain, but so they finally brought me back full time. That's why I just kind of really got after it. Like I didn't have to worry about school anymore. I was able to just work full time hours, and like it was pretty cool. Did a lot of that. It was nice to be able to just check out, like clock out, dude. You don't worry about nothing anymore. Like I would say as a business owner, I miss that the most because me and my wife would go hiking the mountains every day after work. You know, I'd go to her house, pick her up, we go and hike Camelback Mountain or whatever. Like, like that was, you know, me trying to not be such a fat piece of shit. And
Didn't work out so well for you.
yeah. She didn't even know what carne asada was. It was late night one night, and I'm like, hey, well, we'll stop at Filiberto's because they're 24 hours. You want carne asada burrito? She's like, what is that? And I'm like, you fucking uncultured swine, what the fuck? And so carne asada is her favorite meat besides me now, so that's cool.
But besides the cheese wheel.
The cheese wheel.
Besides the cheese wheel. Cheese
Okay,
wheel,
so-
carne asada.
But so that only was only like because I came back. I don't remember when I came back, but then I met Caitlin in like maybe like February, March, and we lived in Kingman by December.
I'm gonna do this February, March of what year?
Ooh, 2016.
2016. So how old were you roughly?
I had just turned 21.
Okay. All right, makes sense. And then you came back to Kingman in December.
Yeah.
So you finished what 8-9 months? 8-9 months in Phoenix.
Doing Phoenix shit.
Okay, and then came back. Now you're starting with your own man.
Now I'm starting my old man.
Okay.
Lived at his house for a while, and then we moved into a travel trailer for a while. That was rough too, but it is what it is, you know. It's part of life.
Yeah.
Gets you where you need to be.
I lived in a travel trailer. I'm about to do it again. That's gonna suck. I'm not looking forward to that. When I go to Utah, I'm looking at Emilio right now. He's
He's like-
looking at me like I'm fucking crazy.
He's like, I'm gonna live in a $100,000 RV. I'm gonna live in a travel trailer. This will be miserable.
It is. I like living in my house. Anyway, okay. So now, what's your old man own? What's happening here?
Simple auto repair, and that came because he's like, what should we call it? And we're calling the names. He'll just keep it simple. We'll just call it Simple Auto.
Okay.
Where I think the downfall of that name is people think you just do simple stuff. So like that was always like a fight, like with people like, oh well, you don't even do anything like that. I'm like, well,
You
you
did.
do. What's not your name? Well, sorry.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
Leave me a review. Tell you all.
Okay, so you're working with Pops. How long does that last?
Pretty much from 2017 to the end of, so we officially started ripping in 2019.
Okay.
Like May of 2019 was official opening day, and I even worked. I did part times, so I would do the mornings at my dad's shop, and I'd go to about noon or 1, and I'd go to my shop, and I'd be there till like 9 or 10 at night. And that's just kind of how I did it for quite a few months, and then finally my dad, me and him got in a fight one day, and he's like, I don't need you anymore. You could just go to your shop full time. And I'm like, fuck. Like, just because I was like, it's scary to open a business and like just make that jump. Like, you're either going to be making money or you're not.
Yeah.
Like, and thankfully I had that opportunity to do half and half, so I didn't have to make money at the business yet. We were able to just build it and not draw from it.
Right.
And But yeah, so when he kicked me to the curb, I don't know what was kind of argument about. We get an argument about wanting that shit, but
Well, there you go, dude. There's your father-son thing. Like, it works for you. It works for you and your pops, and it works for Dom and Alex's pops. This didn't work.
No.
didn't work. We butt heads too much. But yeah, so kicked me to the curb, quote unquote, not necessarily, but
Yeah.
so we got an argument.
Business ain't going. We're not working together anymore. He's still your dad.
He's still my dad, but
He's
yeah.
still your dad, but
And I still go over there anytime I need help, vice versa. Like it's helpful that we're across the street from each other now too, because we're able to just pass shit back and forth. And I have such a big lot, like when they get overflowing, they just park all their shit in my lot.
Hell yeah.
And but yeah, so then I just had to jump fucking full force, dude, feet first, just hit the ground running and make it happen.
Now is Brandon like really helping? Is it more because he owns a restaurant? His family owns a restaurant.
Yeah, so they own Calico's.
Okay.
And so he was helping a lot, and then like I said, once he started getting busy, he was just there less and less and less.
Once Calico started getting busy,
Yeah.
because it caught on fire, right? Or was
Well,
it?
no, that was so.
Oh no, we're COVID. We're in the middle
We're
of
COVID, yeah. So we were man, we had some stupid ass people too during COVID, like getting mad at us for being open. I'm like, motherfucker, you're the one in here. Like, how are you gonna get mad at me when you walked in? Like, you're fucking mad at me right now? Fuck out of here.
How
Yeah.
dare you guys be open?
Yeah, how dare you be open? I need to spend my $1,200. Got you, dude. We will spend your $1,200. We'll spend the fuck out of your money right now.
Okay, so you guys are working pretty hand in hand together at this point. Calico's is slow because of COVID.
Yeah, and I had to take over the front office stuff because he would tangent really bad and like talking to people, and then he'd just like help me hook up everyone. And I'm like, Brandon, we gotta stop doing that. Like, we have to make money now.
Okay.
So then he was doing some more of the work in the back, and then when I could, I would definitely be back there doing some of the bigger stuff. And it was all nuts and bolts, and he's a good mechanic, but he didn't like some of the stuff just didn't jive. Like, he didn't understand the inner workings of some of the stuff.
Okay.
Where like, I'm also not afraid to just look at a YouTube video, and then like once I see it, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, so he did a lot of the stuff, tires, stuff like that. Like, I learned a lot from him too. Like, I came into the side by side business knowing only how to work on a Yamaha YXZ.
Yeah, shit.
Not a single idea.
I've never even seen a belt before in my life, dude. Like,
I can put a belt on, and that's about all I know about side by
they're
side.
like, no, and I tell people this all the time too. I'm like, 6 years ago, I didn't even know what a fucking side by side was. Like,
Okay. No clue.
no clue. Like, it just didn't. And here I am.
And who was it that talked you into originally? Oh, Gary Messer?
Gary Messer, yeah.
Was talking about working on side by sides or starting a shop?
Yeah.
Because you were changing the oil in his side by sides?
His dad had just got done changing the oil in his side by side, and he's like, I'm sick of rolling around on the floor changing the oil in this damn thing.
So he said you should open a shop.
Yeah.
And then, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and he's like, financially back you, which thankfully we were able to get into everything so cheap we never needed that. But I mean, he has helped me before too. Like when I had to do the IBOC buy-in, it was like $30,000.
Okay.
I'm like, shit, dude. So I called Gary. I'm like, hey, I want to buy in and be a master distributor for IBOC, but it's $30,000 to actually, make a dent in what your margins.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, no problem. Gives me $30,000, and I was really like, the demographic of Kingman is not there for IBOC Springs, so that was a very bad business move. And when I was telling Gary about that, he said, yeah. He's like, I knew it was, but I figured you hadn't made one of those yet, so I'd let you.
Hell yeah.
So,
Hell yeah, that's a good fucking mentor right there. Fucking go ahead, buddy. You fuck this up. This will be good.
yeah. So you think I fucking think about big purchases like that now, dude? Like, I'm like, let's see. Then we did some stuff for like, we worked through Copper Candy Communications doing rugged radios for American Woodmark.
I thought you said shit
right now.
again, dude.
So even that was like, I think we sold them like $40,000 worth of radios.
Oh shit.
And I had to learn all the frequencies they had, the tone codes, because like you can hear a frequency, but you'll be able to talk to it unless you have a tone code. So I had to buy all this equipment, do all this stuff to figure it out because they had no idea, and the person who was doing it wouldn't, release any information. And So I did all that, and then when they're like, all right, yeah, we're ready to buy, we want to buy them all right now. So, like, here we go. Like, it's a big chunk again. So I called Gary. Thankfully, I was able to have him paid back in like a week and a half that time. But like,
Okay.
but he's always thankfully like, no, really.
Here's it there. What, 9 o'clock at night?
No headlight. Probably wearing freaking flip flops or Crocs.
Probably.
Full, probably not even
He
wearing
just got done beating his wife. But,
I'm gonna set now.
Now he's running from the cops just up and down the road.
yes.
He's just trying to hide.
He's just trying to figure out where to hide.
The cops were like, I see you.
You can't catch me.
But yeah, that goes into the, having someone there that's able to help you and utilizing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and don't be a fucking proud ninny about it. Like, hey, we got to make a big purchase. Like, half the time, yeah, I probably could, but it's going to kill my account.
Right.
And it's not something I'm going to immediately get back, so it's going to be like a long-term purchase. So I got to,
Yeah.
thankfully,
Cash flow. Like
thankfully having someone like that on my side from the beginning, dude, has been awesome.
How do you think that relationship came about? I guess like how do you? Okay, let's talk about that. Like how do you build a relationship with a mentor? You mean like how if you were to give advice to somebody who's trying to find a mentor, or you know what I mean? Like how does that happen?
That one I can't really like put my tongue on exactly how it started because it was I worked when I graduated early, so I graduated in December. Corey Huggins got me a job at the powder coat shop.
Yeah.
So I was a sandblaster. So I was bottom of the barrel. Just that was the worst job, but that is a good job for anyone who needs to get their shit straight. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
Like
It's hot.
it's hot, shitty, fucking just fucking
old
terrible.
ovens and-
Well, yeah, dude, fucking just terrible. Like that is just a terrible, terrible job. But I did it, and I fucking did it to the best of my ability all the time, as much as I could. And so Gary owned the business at the time.
Okay.
So, he just seen me always kind of putting in work when I could, where I could, helping as much as I could, anything that needed outside of me being in the sandblast booth, I was there to try to help. And, we'd come in on not very often, we'd come in on Saturdays and work if there was like work that just needed to be caught up on. Like I didn't bitch about it. We just came in and got it done. And I think a lot of people don't have that kind of work ethic anymore. So that's a big problem with just today's society in general. But so he'd seen that,
You put the work in. You're doing extra.
put the work in, and I told him like, hey, I'm leaving in November to go start college. I just wanted to let you know, and he was cool with it. And obviously, he didn't really matter if he was or not. I was going, but he was cool with it. And then I did all that, did the playing around for a couple of years. When I moved back, I don't recall where I had seen him at, but I seen him somewhere when I moved back. I'm like, oh yeah, I just moved back. I got this shop going with my dad, this, that, and the other, and for a long time, his vehicles went nowhere else but to me.
Okay.
So like we built that, and then got to the point where like sometimes I need something fixed, and it was after hours. I would go down to his big ass shop downtown and work on his shit. Like, hell, Valentine's Day one time, seal on one of their work trucks, the rear seal for the differential was leaking. And funny story, I accidentally became an ordained minister, so I did a wedding that day. I went to work, went to Golden Valley, did a wedding, then went to Gary's shop, and I worked the rest of the night. It was fucking raining, cold as shit. Worked the rest of the night in the shop. My wife came, brought me a heart, like a chocolate box of chicken nuggets from McDonald's. That was our fucking Valentine's dinner. And so that's like, it's cool to have someone by your side that's like, just, she's just there through it. Like, she's not gonna bitch about it. Like,
I think that's big. We've talked about that a couple of times. We've talked about that a few times, like the importance of having a good woman behind you, but it takes a strong man. Like there's things that you have to do as a man,
yeah,
to have a good woman. You know what I mean? And I think, putting in that extra time and working hard and proving to them that you're worth, I guess, quote unquote, following. You know what I mean? It's kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna have a shitty man or a busy man.
Yeah, one or the other. It's your choice. The choice is yours, women.
Yeah. So she's always been like day one, dude, there. So that's helped a lot. That's made a lot of me being able to build myself and business and whatever it is, whatever the fuck I decide to do, she supports me no matter how stupid it is. And she'll tell me it's stupid, but she's still there. Like,
I feel like that's the best way to go about it. Like,
Yeah.
be with somebody while you're broke.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Together, you know.
yeah,
like,
yeah. We lived in a freaking travel trailer. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like we were renting rooms from people. Like it was, like we were fucking broke. Like,
Yeah.
like fucking broke. And we built it like, and in any business, dude. Like we're fucking going through it right now. Like we're not like fucking broke, but it's not what it used to be. But it's also election year, and I have to think back 4 years ago, election year. The same time, it was the same exact way.
You got through it.
Yep.
Got through it. It's fucking struggle. It's a pain in the ass, but we'll get through it. We'll just roll through it. That's part of it. That's what separates the men from the boys, dude. Because how many people start struggling? They're like, fuck it,
Done.
done, going back to work.
Yep. We're done. We're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, they're those are the people that they're on the social medias about fucking trying to be everybody's mentor. They're this, that, and the other, dude. Then when the minute something's hard, dude, gone.
Oh yeah, I like to use, for example, I like to use all the guys that were fucking crypto this and investment this and like look at all the investment gurus that were fucking out there when investments and things were fucking popping. Dude, I saw that shit everywhere. Oh, dude, I seen barbers doing it. I seen mechanics doing it. I seen like I've been investing for a long time. I've been telling people about investments for fucking years, right? So I would speak on it more, I guess, through those stages, but I still speak on it. But I speak on it differently now. You know what I mean? Like, depending on what demographic I'm speaking to is who I give what information to, right? Based off of.
Speaking to white friends or Mexican dudes, he'll tell you how to invest your money properly. What you?
No, for real. You know what I mean? What do you have going on in your life? Like, that shit's important. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna tell somebody who works a 9 to 5, and struggles to save money and, you know, has no discipline to max their credit card out and then pay it off at the end of the month. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give them that information. Or, like, I can, I guess.
Yeah, but it's not going to help
It's
them.
not going to help them. It's going to fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to tell a business owner to go put your money in a 401k because you can make way more money doing other things. You know what I mean? So it just depends on what you have going on. And then by diversifying, right? You know what I mean? I might call you up and go, hey, dude, I think that this cryptocurrency could blow up in the next 5 years. Maybe take a couple $100 or $1,000 and throw it in it. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like that.
And investments like that, I always say, because I tried to buy into fucking Dogecoin when it was really low, like a long time ago. You know, I was going to put $1,800 in, which when it hit its peak was like almost $900,000 I would have been paid out. I was really pissed that I couldn't figure out how to use everything and get it transferred. It was a mess. But we blow money on stupider things. That's what I always tell myself. In any investment I make, I blow money on stupider things. This will be fine.
Yeah. It's, you know what I mean? That's something I tell people too. Like, if you're going to invest money, never invest money that you can't afford to lose.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't afford to take this money and throw it in that fucking trash can and never see it again, don't invest it. Like, if, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's where people make mistakes, is they're so connected to money, or they hang on to money so much that they're like, oh, this has to make money, and they're so emotional about it. Like, you can't look at it that way.
They listened to some Yahoo on freaking TikTok that said you're going to make money doing this. And like, oh, but this is going to make money.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my life savings. I'm going to fuck my family right now. This is going to make money.
This is going to make money. That's terrible. Terrible advice. And that's why I say, depending on what demographic, who I'm speaking to or who I'm giving advice to.
I have a problem. So, like, I don't have a problem spending money. You know that. But I have a problem spending money on things that I can't get my money back out of.
Okay.
Dude, clothes.
Did it?
You know how hard it is for me to go buy some clothes? I buy everything on sale. Yeah, so I had to kick a little bit on Dixon shirts, and I bought quite a few Dixon shirts, but they're comfortable because they don't rub my nipples and make them hard. So, and hard and raw. Like other shirts.
I've never had that problem, dude. Like,
Well, it's because you got little nipples. You're not Mexican.
all right.
I've never had that problem either, though.
Same.
Dude, when it's cold out, you're working. So my normal work shirt is either like a really starchy,
Yeah.
like polo, and so it'll rub my nipples and shit hurts. But
It's just my.
you gotta put some Vaseline and some Band-Aids on it, dude. See, you know, but you said you've never had it, so I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I've seen people do it before.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a weird. Like I've had my balls chafed before, I guess. You know what I mean? But my nipples, like.
I just recently had my balls cheered for the first time. That was not fun.
Alright.
That was not fun.
It is a horrible experience.
A horrible experience. That was probably yeah.
Piece of advice, dude. This is completely off of what the podcast talks about. But when I was in fucking junior high, everybody was talking about like shaving their legs and, you know, things are starting to fucking happen and fucking, I'm a hairy dude. You know what I mean? So I decided I shaved my fucking butt cheeks and fucking, you know, cleaned everything up.
Shit.
Bro, all my friends were like, oh, it's great, dude. Wait till you wipe. I swear to God, dude, the first day I did it, it was amazing. Everybody's right. The second that shit starts to grow back, fucking terrible. Dude.
Terrible.
Fucking terrible. It's like walking around with fucking
God-
sandpaper.
If God didn't want
Fucking
if God didn't want us to have hairy buttholes, dude, He would not give us hair on our buttholes. That's what I'm saying, dude. Okay?
Never. I don't care what
It's
your
a
friends
cushion,
say.
dude. It gives you a little friction plate.
Never fucking shave your fucking butt cheeks. It's terrible fucking idea. Terrible. Dude, I listened to all, they're like, bro, you gotta try it. It's fucking great. I'm like, I don't know, 13, 14. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm hairy as shit. I'm gonna fucking try it. And I'm like, this is amazing. 3 days later, what? Dude, I'm fucking walking around spreading my fucking cheeks. I just said take toilet paper and wrap it up.
We call P. Diddy to get some baby oil, dude.
Horrible. Totally off topic, but
Yeah.
I don't know. If any of your friends ever tell you to do that, just say no. Trust
Just say
me.
no.
Redbeard said.
Or get waxed once a week.
You heard it here first.
But yeah, so I have a hard time like buying clothes, which I know like my fucking house burned down and I had like what I had when I was camping and that's all I had, so I bought some nice shit. But aside from that, clothes and shit, dude, I have a hard time spending money on that. If I can go buy like my Mustang, for instance, I bought that. I'll probably lose my ass on it at this point because I've blown it up too many times, but
Mustang.
Mustang, yeah, dude. But I know that I could sell it when I'm done having fun with it.
Right.
And that's how I always see things too when I buy stuff. Because like you see how many things I buy and sell. Like I always end with something. I consider it like whatever, like even if I break even on it, and I had my fun with it, I'm like, all right, I rented it. That was a
Yeah,
rental.
I've done that. I've done that a bunch of times. I rented that. I got to enjoy it for X amount of years.
I call all my cars my more realistic 401k.
Yeah.
If I gotta sell them one day, I guess I'll sell them. Probably won't get what I got in them, but
But it's something.
I'm not gonna get anything out of my 401k
Yeah.
or Social Security at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a Social Security.
No, thanks, Biden.
I think 2036. I think I heard a thing the other day. 2036, Social Security will fucking not be a thing.
2036 to 2040, bro.
God. No more Social
Guns
Security.
are another good one.
Guns are a good one.
Guns.
Yeah.
That is the one thing you can buy and it will almost never depreciate.
What do you guys think about gold and silver?
I think it's genius.
Really?
I do.
Right.
As an investment.
I don't know. I have a hard time spending money on that.
Yeah.
I'll buy guns. I buy the shit out of guns. I got a lot of guns, and that's one thing that pisses my wife off too when I buy guns. Cause she knows.
She's like, ooh, shiny, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah,
I
'cause she
really
knows.
want that.
Yeah, you've seen what I got, so she knows when that motherfucker buys a gun, that just write it off. We're never seeing that money again. Like there's only one time I've ever gotten rid of a gun, and that's because it was a car that I really wanted, and part of the deal was he wanted this Kimber 45 I had, which I bought when I was in Alaska, because I don't know if you ever seen an Alaskan grizzly bear, but they're fucking big. Like, and I wasn't trying to go fucking toe to toe with one of those, because when I was doing the surveying, I was alone out in the fucking wilderness. There was a coyote, I think it was a coyote, it was a big ass dog. It's like a res dog or something. And that motherfucker was this big, and he came up to me for like,
wolf?
it might have been, that's a big.
That big's a wolf.
That's a wolf. The coyotes are little.
So it might have been a wolf. So I'm surveying the job site at the very north end by the first dam, and I'm sitting there just chilling because I'm done doing what I got to do. So I just kick it for the rest of the day. And thankfully, I had those little crackers with the peanut butter and the cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, not Ritz. They're,
Uh,
I forget what they're about.
Toll House or something, some weird like that, with a fucking elf on them or something.
Yeah.
But I had a pack of those in my pocket, and this big ass fucking res dog, I'm gonna call him that because I don't know what he was, came up to me. He's probably like, he's probably here.
You said coyote that big?
Fucking huge.
He was at least this big. He was like his back was like right here, dude.
It's not as tall as a coyote gets.
Dude, that's a res dog. Okay, so he wasn't a coyote. He was a res dog. I don't want to say he was a fucking wolf because that's scary. So he's like here.
You're a king when you're snake.
Because they made these big cuts up on the top of the mountain and were like cutting down to get towards the stream. And so he come up from the top and came down behind me. He did a little sneak attack, dude, and he stopped right there, like kind of almost right next to me. So there's like a little plain area I was standing on. And I'm like, oh fuck, that's a big bitch. So I look at him and he's just like looking at me, like didn't look aggressive, didn't growl, nothing. So I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna get me, dude. Like, this is gonna suck.
I'm gonna feed it.
Yeah, so so I said, I'm gonna feed him. So I take my fucking crackers out, dude, and I throw the crackers at him. He grabs them and fucking scurries off.
He's like, be my friend.
Yeah, goddamn, thank God. Fucking next day, dude, I'm up there again doing some more surveying. That motherfucker comes back. He was a little further away this time, but he knew I had food. And I brought an extra package of crackers because I was hungry. When I was done for the day, I brought it. Yeah. So what's up, you fat piece of shit? He's like, better give me some crackers. You're gonna eat your ass cheeks off. So.
And he's like, he's my friend.
Yes.
He's my friend.
But those are the only 2 times I've seen him. But after that, and then like seeing a moose, a very aggressive moose. I was driving this bulldozer up the road, and there's they get really mean if the baby's around. So don't recommend going by mooses. Moose. Sorry, we were talking about this. Mooses. And so me and my dad were like, "Fuck, we need to get some pistols or something," because like, for the most part, like me and him were there a lot. Like we had this one day that we had a 20, it was like almost 25-hour shift. Because a starter motor in a big ass Volvo excavator. Like we had to get on a ladder. The tracks were freaking huge. We had to get on a ladder just to get underneath to open the belly pan. That's how big this excavator was. And so yeah, we had to 24 hours that shift to get that shit done. But so we started hitting up all these people on Facebook, and they had this weird Alaskan Craigslist. It wasn't called Craigslist. I don't remember what it was called, but it was an Alaskan thing. And trying to buy guns here. That's more like people would not. If you're not an Alaska resident, they would not sell you a gun, dude. Would not sell you. I'm trying to buy cheap shit, dude, because I'm like trying to save some money so I can buy dumb shit when I get back to the lower 48. And so I end up having to buy this Kimber. It's the only guy that sells Kimber Pro Carry 45, like nice ass fucking gun. I can't say I've never owned one because I do. My wife has a really nice Kimber Bel Air, but they're a pain in the ass to work on. So you don't like. I would just get a Glock every day. So
I hate my Glock.
I will never own a Glock. I will never own a Glock.
I have a Glock 27, a little. Well, actually, my wife carries that. She doesn't want to carry the Bel Air because it's too pretty. She says.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I like them sealed. I was looking.
I'm a sick fanboy.
Like I'm gonna try a Hellcat, but I don't know.
Might as well those are nice.
I'm about 365.
Dude, I got a Super Blackhawk 44 mag, dude. I'll fucking carry that big ass bitch on me.
There you go, dude. Nobody
Fuck around and find out, dude.
I got old Steel Western Army.
Hell yeah. Okay, we're getting off topic, dude. We love fucking guns.
This is good, dude. We're good.
Okay, hold on.
Guns are a good investment. Just keep it.
Guns are good investment. Mooses are moose are mean.
Alright.
Res dogs are big.
Res dogs are big, dude.
Invest in gold.
Invest in. Okay.
Alright, so what's the deal with gold? I've been hearing it a lot. I got a little bit of silver, but gold I've never really.
So silver's in everything, right? Like silver's in a lot of electronics and blah, 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 blah. And the gold, well, that's what the gold standard was on. So like at the end of the day, I guess they consider it's like God's #1 resource. Like if you look at a lot of like conspiracy theorists and stuff and aliens and fucking all that shit, like it's all based off of gold, right? So when the US dollar it's just a piece of paper. There's nothing backing it anymore. So when they took it off the gold standard, it became fucking worthless. And like if you look over history, I think on average every 100 years, the world's reserve currency changes. So right now, the U.S. dollar has been the main world's reserve currency for, I think it's 64 years. It's something like that. Don't quote me exactly on the number. It's like 60 some years. But every 100 years it changes. Well, they're talking about, well, look at everything happening in the the U.S. dollar ain't worth shit right now. You know what I mean? But gold, because it's limited, right? So it becomes worth something at that point. So like when I explain to the kids like this, like, so if you take $100 bill and you lay it on the table, and you take a fucking $1 bill and you lay it on the table, like and that's all they were to do for the rest of fucking eternity. They're not worth, like, that's it. They're fucking worthless. But you can, and because they just print it, like, there's no difference between a $100 bill and a $1 bill other than in the fucking ink that's on it. But with gold, it's because there's a limit that's limited, so now it becomes more valuable. Does that make sense?
So you think in a world where we don't have cash no more, saying gold is the move, would you rather have gold or guns?
Ooh.
I would always
You could get gold with guns.
I would always.
That's kind of my logic.
I always choose guns.
Like if you have gold and I have guns, I now have gold and guns. You just
And it's an investment two ways, right? So you're investing in your protection,
Yep.
and you're investing in your
And the ability to kill someone and take their gold.
To take their gold.
or
Barbaric.
or not
Love
be the person who gets
Or not get gold.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
back to
Did you guys ever play RuneScape? Yeah.
But yeah, so gold and silver is it's worth something. You know what I mean? Because there's limited. You know what I mean? It's just
$500 ain't worth nothing, dude. I'll take it.
that's why Bitcoin. You know what I mean? There's only so many Bitcoins. That's why Bitcoin is quote unquote worth something. But I still believe that gold is worth more than a Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying? Because a Bitcoin it's physical. It's a thing. Right? Just like I said, silver, they use silver and all kinds of stuff.
Copper's a good one.
Copper's a good one. It's a precious metal.
Okay.
So that's why it's worth more.
Same with platinum.
Yep, that's another good one. But yeah, I think investing, I'm not telling you to invest all your money in gold and silver, but like when I'm talking about being diverse, right? Me personally, I'd probably take 20% of my income or my profit, put in gold and silver. Don't take this as financial advice. I don't want anybody fucking suing me. This is just what I would fucking do. Okay, but I take 20%, put it in there. I take another fucking 20%, put it in fucking.
I just have a few going. It's probably
Like foreign currency.
a little stacked.
Yeah, there's some ideas that you can push it into, and just see what fucking happens. So yeah, cash is trash. It's just fucking what it is. The American dollar ain't worth a fucking thing. It's just there's nothing backing it. Debt. American debt is backing it, and now nobody believes in fucking America because we're a fucking entire shit show right now. And nobody wants to fuck with us. So I think, my personal opinion, the U.S. dollar here in the next, guaranteed, in the next 40 years, it's not going to be worth anything because it's not going to be the fucking main reserve. They're talking about the brick. They're talking about all that shit. And it's done it for 700 years. So it's like saying, if I fucking hit Andy in the dick, and he goes, ugh, and I do it 7 times, and I do it the 8th time, he's not going to go, ugh. You know what I mean? It's just...
I'm not like the 8th time.
You never know. So yeah,
Easy on the heavy breathing over there.
same concept. Okay, so let's go. How are we looking, real quick? Time?
Yeah, well, 15.
Okay, 15 minutes. So let's hit. Let's go over issues. Issues that you had starting business versus issues that you currently have.
I would say customer base is always an issue. It's always going to be an issue. There's never going to be, because you always have like just shithead customers that you can't make happy. And it is what it is. Sometimes you have to be realized, like, just be ready to cut your losses and just tell them to kick rocks, like in a nice way. Like I've never been rude or foul language towards someone, no matter what. Like there's a level of professionalism I'm trying to uphold. Unlike someone in their barbershop.
I'm pretty bad.
But it all depends on who's there. Like, just know your surroundings is the biggest thing. Like, the same with you. I'm sure if there's a little kid in there, you're not fucking.
Yeah, if there's kids or a woman in there, or mom, like I'm not in here saying fuck, blah, 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 blah. Like I swear a lot, but I definitely pay attention to who's in the shop when I'm doing it. When on here, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and then we have employee stuff. Like, we have a pretty decent crew now, but you're always going to get the ups and downs with employees, you know, and that was a big fight, especially after that accident where I wrecked that customer's quad. There was like 6 months I really couldn't do anything, just in the recovery stage, and I kind of had to hire just a warm body to come in, and I think it would have been better for me to close for 6 months than to like go through that bullshit again.
Okay. Like, you think hiring? You think it's this struggle hiring, finding good people?
Finding good people with any type of work ethic.
Okay.
And so like I've realized too, because like, so I started this business when I was 24. Yeah, or 20. Yeah, 20. I was still 24 when I started this. Or started with Brandon anyway, and hiring people. Like I hired one kid that was younger than me, and it got to the point where he was just very, why don't I have everything you have? Because we're the same age type shit, you know? And I'm like, I took the risk. I'm the one that did all this. I'm the one dealing with the fucking taxes and dealing with like, well, you know, dude, I always hear about your tax shit, dude, like, and you hear about mine, like, dude, taxes are no joke.
I think I finally got it figured out. I've been fucked enough times.
Yeah.
That I finally figured it out.
Taxes are no joke. Bad accountants are no joke. I've been fighting that for a while now. We'll probably end up 40,000+ in fees and everything else with the IRS, just trying to get the account shit figured out. And that's really been kind of a struggle, just trying to stay on top of making sure that's handled, making sure everyone gets their paychecks and the bills are paid and all that, and parts are ordered, and that's a struggle for sure. The customers just not picking their shit up, dude. Like, that's the thing.
Like, they just drop it off, get it worked on, say it's okay, and then never.
Yeah, they approve everything, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not paying that."
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, I have a bunch of motorcycles and quads in my back shop that have never been picked up or paid for. So like, I'm getting ready to just like sell them for fucking next to nothing just to get them out of there.
Can you put mechanic names on stuff like that, or?
If you know enough information, which I'm pretty good about getting a lot of information from them now, addresses, all that.
Oh, okay.
Because like one of them belonged to the dude's brother, and he approved everything, and then and he's like, "Oh, well, my brother's paying for that." And I called the brother, and he's like, "I'm not fucking paying for that."
Damn.
That's around
$2,300 bill, like.
So then what do? It just sits there and you just eat it,
Yep.
and then they can't come.
There's
get
no
their
repercussion. No. No real repercussions you can do. It sucks.
shit. Well, that's fucked.
Yeah.
I've even noticed as like with credit card companies, if the customer does a chargeback, like 9 times out of 10, they always side with the customer no matter what. Like, you could have every fucking piece of paper in the world. Like, oh, no, it's okay. So like, we're real careful on credit cards too, because that's a pain in the ass in itself.
Especially once they already have the item.
Yeah. Then, you know, customers where you order thousands of dollars worth of parts, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I want to make do." So I never do payment plans with anyone anymore, because like, "Oh yeah, I'll make payments," then make a payment, then you never see them again.
Damn.
Like, yeah, I got one guy that owed me like $5,000. Another one owes me $2,000.
Never see you again.
Goes there again, gone.
Sheesh.
Well, that's shitty.
So like, that's a lot of stuff, and it's just like having to be willing and ready to deal with that too. Is like people, like a lot of people wouldn't deal with that. Like,
Yeah.
they would just be like, again, like, and I get that way sometimes. Like, fuck this, I'm fucking sick of these people, and like, but I mean, it's just how people are, and what comes around goes around eventually. I hope anyway.
Yeah. No, I think so. I think if you're good to enough people, I mean, look at the life you live right now. You try to be good. I mean, you do your best to be good to people, and I think you're living pretty well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, you have problems. I mean, you're gonna have problems no matter what you do. I mean, no matter what happens, like there's no difference. You just have different problems. You know what I mean? Like, nothing is ever perfect, I don't think. You know what I mean? No matter how much money you make, or your business, or you're not a business, like, we all have problems. Like, it never goes away. And to go to the employee thing, this is something that, okay, so I signed up for like I don't know if it's like a mentorship program. I don't know. We'll just call it that. I'm not exactly sure what I would consider it, right? But I asked this question the other day because I was curious, because this is something that I wanted to try to share. And this mentorship program is a bunch of people who are very successful, millions of dollars, you know what I mean? Multiple companies, multiple $1 million companies, you know what I mean? So I get the opportunity every Monday to kind of pick their brains. So I asked, like, what how do you find good employees? You know what I mean? And this is a question. So what one of them said was, it's not essentially, I mean, yeah, finding a good employee with somebody with good work ethic and blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's a piece of it. And this is something that I want to try. I've never tried it before. This is Monday. Today's Wednesday. So 2 days ago, I got this information. When you sit down with an employee, ask them what they want from working in your company. Like, what are their goals? So you figure out your goals and what you want, right? You already know these things. And then you sit down and explain to them, this is what I'm trying to do, this is what we're trying to do, blah, 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 blah. So what do you want from me? You know what I mean? And almost, I'm not saying that you have to cater your business around them, but maybe give them, almost make them have a little skin in the game, right? So like, let's just say, for example, if we reach these numbers this week, or if we finish this amount of jobs this week, I'll kick you down a little percent. Or if your goal is to move up in my company, or your goal is to become a better mechanic, well, if you do X, Y, Z, I'll spend an hour with you, or 2 or 3 hours with you a week and teach you boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Like, give them
Incentive.
Give them incentive. You know what I mean? It doesn't always, not everybody is always looking for money. You know, some people are always, and I'm not saying this work. I don't know.
No. What's crazy is literally just last week. This is some of the stuff we've talked about at my shop. Just last week, dude. Like, what? Because like with, you know, not gonna name drop him, but with my main guy, my homie.
Yep.
You know, he's wasn't happy that I was gone a lot, which I was gone a lot. Like, you know, I was trying to do shit with my son, but I pretty much just put the whole business to the wayside and didn't give a shit. I was like, well, you know, they've got it. They can handle it. They know what they're doing. And I guess that wasn't fair to them. And so now I'm, you know, back and everything. And so I asked them, what do we need to do? What do you want to do? What do you want me to do? What are you looking for to get you back to 100%? Because he straight up said, like, I pretty much only work enough to make sure I get a paycheck at the end of the day.
And then?
That's all I'm willing to put in. Like, understandable.
Yeah.
So, literally, dude, like, just last week, this is
Just had that conversation. And I think, I mean, like I said, I'm getting this information from people who run multi-million dollar companies, right? So, like, why not? I mean, if that's how like, there's levels, right? Just like when it comes to taxes, just like when it comes to being an employee, just when it comes to starting your own business, like, there's different levels to this shit. And that's why the board has levels, you know what I mean? There's different levels to this shit. So, they operate on this level. I operate on this level. Somebody else operates on this level. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? And there's people that are even above the people who I'm talking to. But that's why I signed up for it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to pick these people's brains. And I thought that was pretty cool. Like, I never thought about that. I'll be honest with you. I'm always like, look, I create boom, 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 boom. Or in the barbershop, you know what I mean? I have the barbershop where, like, look, you could come in here and make $1,000 a week with no clientele. Like, what more do you fucking want? You know what I mean? Like, how, like, I'm not saying $1,000 a week is a lot of money, but in Kingman, in a small town, where are you going to make that kind of money? You know what I mean? And then people are still not staying. And I'm trying to treat them good. I let them pick their hours. You know what I mean? Like, I have this whole, but I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? And so that was something I asked, you know, I'm like, where am I fucking making a mistake on with these employees and stuff? Like, I'm fucking up somewhere. Anytime my business isn't operating at the level that I think it should operate, instead of blaming somebody else, I blame myself. Like, I put it on me and I'm the one fucking up. You know what I mean? So I have to figure out, what am I doing that's fucking this shit up? Because at the end of the day, it's your dream. Your business is your dream. My business is my dream. Herbie's business is his fucking dream. You know what I mean? So what do we got to do to bring somebody else into that dream and get them to understand that dream? You know what I mean? Like, how do we make it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's hard and we're going to ask a lot of things and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, get them to appreciate what you're trying to do.
Exactly. You know, because at the end of the day, the goal is to make everybody eat and everybody fucking win. But if things are not working in it, or if things are not going well, or things are not going according to plan, or whatever it is that you whatever plan you've devised to fucking make whatever happen, if it's not following, that's not going to get to the end goal, and nobody gets to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you get to look like the bad guy, and everybody's like, oh, this guy's just being a fucking dickhead, and blah, 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 and I don't work for him. It's not that you're trying to be a dickhead. So I look at it as like, I'm failing. You know what I mean? So that's something that I'm personally working on, is how do I become a better leader? if I'm the quote unquote boss, which I don't really give a shit about that term, but I want to lead. I feel like a boss tells you what to do, a leader shows you what to do.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a pretty solid piece of advice. And this is, for business owners and just people like, how do you make somebody else happy?
Yeah, it's important. Even I would say probably even at once a month, ask them, hey, everything going good? Anything I can do to help? And that's where I'm like changing. Like I'm gonna start doing that, trying to make sure they're happy, because with them only putting out enough work to make sure they get a paycheck, it's breaking even all the time, and then it's just everything's just going backwards.
Yeah, you're not getting nowhere.
So you're not getting anywhere. And then at some point it's like, okay, well, why are we doing things anymore?
And that's something that I think, at least in my personal opinion, I think when it comes to a business, when you have employees, your number one asset as a business owner is your employees, because your employees are the people who make you the money. So sometimes we have to take a pay cut or take this or take that and realize, like, look, without these people, I can't make this happen. So if my goal is to grow my business to X amount or whatever, I need to realize, where am I fucking up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have to be real with yourself. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you have to fucking be like, hey, stupid, you're not the fucking king. You can't walk around here fucking thinking you're king shit and your shit don't stink and fucking look at me. You got to go back to being the fucking pawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pawn started it.
The pawn started it. The pawn got you where you are. You know what I mean? And as a pawn, you always move forward one step at a time. You deal with trial and tribulations. You get help from your friends. You get help from your employees. Your employees are helping you get to where you're at. So then you help them. You know what I mean? And that's, that's the pawn mentality. Everybody's helping everybody. You get help from your friends, your peers, people who are above you. So in your game, you're a pawn. But to your employees, you may be the king. But in their game, they're still a pawn, right? So you got to show them, or maybe you're a bishop, or maybe you're a knight, or maybe you're a rook, whatever, right? But in your game, you're a pawn because you're still trying to grow as well. We're going to take a 5-minute break, 10-minute break, whatever. We're going to keep following, keeping on. We only got a couple of questions left.
All right. So, at what point did you start to feel successful, if you feel successful at Dutch?
I'm gonna say I really haven't got to that point yet, because it's still every day is a grind, and I feel like no matter what, I think it's always going to be a grind. But I think when everything becomes automated, if that makes sense, like
When you get to be free.
Yeah, free. I think that's when it's going to be there, but I don't think it's going to be there anytime soon. And I mean, we're 5 years in. I made the 5-year mark. Like that was, and really, like the crazy thing is, like, I don't even want to be a business owner. I would rather go work for somebody and clock out at the end of the day and just be done. But
God, it'd be so nice.
yeah, I told myself, like, I want to prove to myself that I can do it, and I want to do it. They said the 5 years is the hardest.
Yep.
I made it to 5 years. Not fucking easy. Like, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, granted, like, I could have done things better to make my life better, but I didn't because I'm stupid. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna ever be there. Not in this economy, especially. Like you gotta really have something.
Especially like small town stuff. That's
Yeah.
what kind of cripples us in a way.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I've thought about, like, going to St. George or Hurricane or something like that, because the biggest expense I think in any business is getting the materials to start the business.
Yeah.
Like getting an LLC, that's easy. Insurance, that's easy. Maybe the overhead of the building, if you're finding a building for like a good price, would be kind of a pain in the butt. But like having the tools and the equipment and inventory, and like we've made it a point to not ever get a business loan, like an actual, like, straight go to a bank and get a business loan,
Right.
because I want to be able to, like, when I'm ready to close the doors, I can just close the doors and pack my shit and go home.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. Like and that's where, again, I could have bought less equipment, could have bought less this, less that, and could have put the money elsewhere, and it would have helped grow the business in another way. But then maybe I would have been sitting in that instance, been like, man, I wish I would have bought this other lift, or I wish I'd have bought this fucking welder, whatever. So I don't think I'm ever gonna feel like I'm at that peak point, because no matter what, I always still have to get my hands dirty.
Okay.
And as long as that's happening, it's never gonna be like, oh yeah, just automated essentially.
Yeah.
And even the trailer business, like it actually legitimately is an automated business. Like I pretty much don't have to do anything, but I still have to go out there and get my hands dirty. It's not just I walk, I can't be like, take my son to South Carolina to race and then like, oh, this is rented, like, oh, cool, good luck. Like, nope, someone has to be there to make sure they get hooked up right. And
So basically, you need a business partner that's willing to take charge.
Take charge when you're away or whatever, because
Keep everything happy. Keep the customers happy.
I've tried to explain, because like my one employee, not gonna name drop it again, but when he first started, he was always like, just stay like super late and just get things done. And I'm like, dude, just go home. Like when it's time to clock out, just go home. Like seriously, just go home. And he's like, oh, there's still work to do. And I'm like, don't burn yourself out. Just go home. That work will be here tomorrow. Just go home.
I think.
And,
Oh, sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
like he sees, like now that he's got a kid, like he sees that like I want to go home and be with my kid, and that's where I was at, because we bought a house. So this is all like 2019. So we bought a house,